Hey, Michael Church, Crawl Space Ninja. I am here with Tuvy Guss in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Crawl Space Ninja of Asheville just recently did your crawl space, Tuvy, and you asked us to come out and do a testimonial. Thank you, first of all, for telling us how well they did. So
Well, you're welcome. The job was fantastic. The people are fantastic. I'm glad to have you out here to take a look at it.
well, thank you very much. And one of the things you had mentioned was you were interested in doing this as a DIY project a little over a year ago. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, we just moved in a year ago, and we knew the crawl space might need some attention after we looked at it. We didn't think it was that urgent, but as we got to the summer, we saw a lot of issues. And my wife has asthma, and I care about indoor air quality. So we thought, let's accelerate this a little. And luck had it, Crawl Space Ninjas in Asheville could come here and do the job and get it done quickly, and we're all happier. We're all breathing better. We love it.
That's great. So from what I understand, you were wanting to do it yourself. We did not have a location in Asheville.
Correct.
And then you kind of got down there in the summer and realized it was a little bit more than you wanted to tackle. Not necessarily that you didn't think you could do it, but the timeline of you getting it done was the problem.
Yeah, me as a DIYer probably would have taken me 6 months to do everything, by your methods, using your stuff.
Right.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy doing that stuff. But I thought for the health of our family, we should just do it. And at that time, I found out that you guys had a location that could service us.
Now, Michael came out, and he's the one that did the inspection on the crawl space. Tell us a little bit about that experience when he got here, what he explained, and what was it that convinced you or led you and your family to go with Crawl Space Ninja? I'm sure there's other competitors out here. So
Yeah, I think the best part was Michael coming here, taking time. I think it might have been almost 2 hours. Taking a lot of time doing an inspection, not just cursory, but taking measurements, checking air quality, checking moisture, and really devising what would be the best plan for us to address all the issues, because there's more than one issue down there. And just his willingness to spend that time and then to explain what all the solutions would be and how they would work. So it was just the clarity, the willingness to get it right and do it right the first time.
now, I think a lot of homeowners might hear you say it took 2 hours, and they're like, what? The guy's in my house for 2 hours? But, it does take time. It's not like we're walking through your kitchen and you're there with us. A lot of people don't realize that our ninjas have to go down there, inspect the crawl space. A lot of time the homeowner either doesn't go or can't go in the crawl space with us. And then we have to come back and give you a report and show you pictures and videos. Is that basically what happened?
Yeah, and so it's the watching the videos so we could see what he saw, and then also he's a nice guy, so we were talking a little too. I am a DIYer. I do have interest in what we used to call building science. So there was a lot to talk about because Michael, and also the installers, they have experience more than just the vapor barrier,
Right.
this, that. They have sort of general building knowledge. So you get into conversations about all kinds of things related to construction and, what's best for the house and things like that. So it's a great experience.
Yeah, and I like you brought up building science. Tell us, I don't think you had Asheville do this, but you still did your rim joist installation, and you chose to go with foam board versus fiberglass. Is that right?
Yeah, I've done this in a prior house. I did all the rim joists with the foam board and then the spray foam to air seal it. I just wanted to do the best we could to make sure that we don't have drafts coming up the walls from the crawl space or from the basement. So I thought that's something I can do. Doesn't take as much time. It's not very expensive. I can just do that foam board myself. So I'm halfway done.
Now, when I looked in the crawl space, we've got a sump pump. So you had a standing water issue, or you're preparing for a potential standing water issue?
We had a standing water issue. It was pretty interesting. There were a couple places that were like rivers, I would call it. Now those got sealed. So they're no longer really rivers coming in, but there are opportunities for standing water. So we went ahead and had the sump pump as a necessary item.
Well, and your crawl space is adjacent to your basement, and one of the things that we've been trying to educate people about is if the dirt crawl space floor is lower than the outside dirt, then HUD.gov recommends that you install a water management or waterproofing system. So whether you had visible standing water or not, I'm sure Michael would have at least recommended that to be taken care of. And we've got an April Air dehumidifier running down there. Everything looks good. Did they soda blast? Was there mold?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was everything. We weren't really sure about the mold when we just did our look, our look as a homeowners. But again, Michael was able to tell, yep, you got an issue here. And it wasn't as severe as maybe I feared, but still, mold's mold and who wants it? So we did the soda blast, and then we did
the Anabec?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
To prevent the mold from returning?
Yeah.
Okay, so the X70 was put on. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like you building a deck and then not painting it or staining it.
Right.
The X70 is a great protectant to keep that wood from absorbing moisture. If for some reason that dehu goes down for a short amount of time, it still helps to keep that wood dry. So, well, overall, tell me, I always like to ask this, would you have hired us again if you had to do it all over again, and why?
Yeah, I wish I had more crawl space for you.
We do too.
No, I would definitely hire Crawl Space Ninjas again. And it's really, anybody you're inviting to your house to do work, do they have knowledge? Do they have experience? Do they have integrity? And I don't think we've even talked about that. We had a couple follow-up issues that needed to be addressed. There was no question, no pushback, no nothing. Michael was out here, even the owner, Ryan, was out here to address some follow-up issues right away. And so what more do you want? So yeah, I'm looking for you guys to branch out into other home repair stuff so I can call you for that.
And I always say it's easy to get a 5-star review and everything goes great. But a lot of contractors, they don't follow up whenever things go, not the way everything is supposed to. So thanks for bringing that up too, that we're not perfect, but it sounds like we had some things that we need to address, and they addressed them for you.
Fantastically, yep.
That's great. You mentioned our YouTube videos were instrumental in helping you choose us as well. Can you give us a little bit of that?
Yeah, I will tell you I'm a geeky DIY nerd, as we've said. And so I've known you from YouTube for at least a couple years, probably a little more. But it really applied once we moved in here. I think the videos are awesome. And what I was telling you before, I think it's amazing that you're willing to just tell the God's honest truth about this stuff. And there's no hidden secrets, there's no hidden magic, except for doing it right and making sure everything is what needs to be done. I think the videos are a great selling tool because they show everything you need to know to understand. And if you understand what you're asking to be done, then there's no catch at the end. There's no negatives. So I love it.
Well, and I appreciate you bringing that up, because one of the things I think the video does is it makes it a level playing field, because you have so many different contractors that do crawl spaces so many different ways. And if we all did it the same way, then it's about customer service, and unfortunately we're not there yet. There are crawl space contractors that still choose to ventilate, or they'll seal the crawl space without dehumidification, even in humid North Carolina, different things like that. So that's one of the reasons why I had the idea for the YouTube channel, was to educate homeowners on what to look for. So I appreciate you bringing that up too. I'm Michael Church here in Hendersonville, North Carolina with Tuvy, and really appreciate you having us out. And Michael, you want to come in here so they can see what you look like as well? He's our makeup person. And so this is Michael.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. So appreciate y'all watching, and thanks. Hope you make it a happy and blessed day, and we'll see you later.